Emily was getting ready with her bridesmaids, all smiles and laughter. Little did she know that her faithful furry companion Max had a different plan for the day. Max, her dog, had always been by Emily's side through thick and thin. As the preparations went on, Max began to exhibit odd behavior. He paced restlessly, whining softly, and kept nudging Emily with his nose. Emily couldn't shake off the feeling that Max was trying to communicate something important. She kneeled before Max as she held his face. "What is wrong, boy?" Emily asked, confused at the behavior of her trusted friend. He made a soft bark before he whined his paws. Emily sighed, not knowing what to do with poor Max's behavior. "Baby, today is an important day, and I need you on your best behavior." Max had never been a bad dog before, and Emily was sure he wouldn't start now. She just had to find out what was the matter. Emily was a firm believer that dogs, like other animals, had something like a sixth sense and knew when something was wrong. She knew that she had to find out before the wedding. However, she would never have guessed that it would be something like this. Max's adversity to her wedding dress made her feel sure that it had to do with something concerning the marriage. It made her wonder about Max's past instances with her soon-to-be husband. Max hadn't necessarily growled at Richard or barked excessively towards him. Max and Emily had been alone the 6.5 years before she met him. Max had only just turned 7 when Richard asked her to marry him. The speed of their relationship had worried Emily at first, but he had talked her out of those worries and said that he simply loved her and that she was the one for him. With words like that, how could she refuse? She loved him so much and wanted to start a family with him. She inhaled sharply as she petted her best friend Max, trying to ease his behavior whilst keeping herself calm as well. It was like his behavior had torn off the rose-colored glasses she was wearing. She decided that she would ask a trusted friend. Calming herself down by inhaling and exhaling, she made the phone call. Emily's friend David soon picked up the phone. He was a private investigator, and they had known each other practically from birth, as their mothers had been close friends. He greeted her when he picked up the phone. "Hi, David," Emily responded before she continued to more dire matters. She confided in him, "I'm sorry to disturb you, but I have a private matter that I want to be handled discreetly. Could you do that for me, please?" David immediately showed his concern for Emily. Is everything all right? And of course, anything for you. What do you need my help with?" She told him about Max's strange behavior, a dog that he had known when he was just a pup, and shared her other concerns. He listened attentively and understood her worry. Would he be able to find out what was wrong? "Emily, I understand your worries. I will make sure they disappear by looking into your fiancé. I will call you if I find anything. As long as you don't hear that phone ring, everything is perfectly all right. So please don't worry and just enjoy your special day. Everything will be fine," David said to settle Emily's nerves. The idea of everything being all right until he would call seemed to have settled Emily. She gave Max a final pet before ushering the sweet dog back inside, back to preparations. Her future mother-in-law was almost immediately in her face when she returned. "Has that blasted dog finally learned how to behave?" she asked sternly towards both Emily and Max. Emily wanted to answer, but Max gave a few barks in reply before sitting down next to Emily. Maybe it had to do with her future mother-in-law and how the woman had been fretting and nitpicking about every small thing concerning the wedding. Maybe it had been Francine who had been off and had Max behaving in such a strange manner. She couldn't spiral again, but she made sure to ask David to also look into her future mother-in-law. Her heart stopped. Had David found something, and so soon? She nearly bolted towards her phone to pick it up, but when she grabbed it, she saw it was just a next from her wedding planner telling her it was time for her to leave towards the chapel in which she would be married. On the way towards the location, Max again was a bit restless but behaved well. The location was everything Emily had dreamed so when she walked down the aisle to meet her beloved. Bouquet in hand, she finally reached Richard, who had a large smile on his lips. However, there seemed to be a large shift when Max had to walk down the aisle. His attire made him so handsome in Emily's eyes, the rings attached to his back as he slowly walked down the aisle. But when he was only a couple of feet away, he stopped moving to the confusion of everyone there. Richard tried to call Max towards him with an encouraging tone, but Max didn't budge an inch. Instead, he barked loudly before taking a few steps back, almost as if on high alert. As Emily was about to approach Max herself and coax him forward, the chapel doors suddenly busted open. There stood David, slightly disheveled and out of breath, and he raced down the aisle, clutching a folder. "Emily," he called, his eyes zeroing in on the ring still attached to Max's back. "I need to speak with you. Now," he said, his voice filled with urgency. He passed Max, who simmered down before he gave her the folder. As Emily hurriedly moved toward Max and David, leaving Richard behind, her heart raced with uncertainty. Max seemed to sense the gravity of the situation as he maintained a calm demeanor. Richard, however, couldn't contain his frustration and apprehension. He reached out, gripping Emily's arm with an intensity that surprised her. His voice grew louder as he demanded an explanation, the anger in his eyes overshadowing the love and joy that had been present just moments ago. Just as Emily was about to explain further, David, resolute and composed, stepped forward. He handed her the folder that held the answers to her doubts, and with a deep breath, he began to reveal the shocking truth that would shatter the illusion of her perfect wedding day. With David's revelation hanging in the air, Emily managed to slip her arm out of Richard's grip. She needed space to process the turmoil within her. Emily opened the heavy folder that David had handed her. Her eyes widened in disbelief as she scanned the contents. Tears welled up in Emily's eyes as her gaze shifted between Richard, the man she had thought she would marry, and Francine, the person she had believed was her future mother-in-law. Unable to contain her emotions any longer, Emily's voice cracked as she made a firm declaration. "There will be no wedding!" The chapel filled with her emotional outburst, leaving everyone stunned by the abrupt turn of events. As Emily's emotional declaration hung heavy in the air, Richard, in a desperate bid to regain control, raised his voice, urging everyone to remain seated. Emily's trembling voice grew stronger as she confronted Richard about his deceit. She demanded answers, her emotions a whirlwind of anger, betrayal, and confusion. Richard, realizing the gravity of the situation, tried to win Emily back with words of love and promises of change. He pleaded, his desperation now evident to everyone in the chapel. But Emily had seen through his deception and manipulation. Emily needed to seek legal advice to navigate the complex web of deceit and betrayal that had entangled her life. With a steely resolve, she made the decision to take legal action. In her first meeting with a seasoned attorney, Emily began to explore her legal options. The attorney listened carefully, offering guidance and support as Emily shared the intricate details of her heartbreaking story. The process of annulment began, and with each step, Emily navigated a roller coaster of emotions. The paperwork, the legalities, it all felt like an overwhelming burden on her already wounded heart. Time passed, and Emily embarked on a journey of gradual healing. With the support of her family and friends, she discovered newfound independence and resilience. In moments of reflection, Emily realized the profound importance of trust. She marveled at Max's unwavering loyalty, how he had sensed the deception long before she did. Max became a symbol of trust in her life, a reminder that some bonds remained unbreakable. Despite the emotional turmoil, Emily decided to confront Richard privately. She needed closure and answers to the lingering questions that haunted her. As Emily shared the contents of the folder with her bridesmaids, the shocking revelation of Richard's double life left them all in disbelief. The folder contained irrefutable evidence of his deceit, including proof of his existing marriage and involvement in illegal activities. Emily continued to lean on her family for strength and guidance. They discussed the canceled wedding, its emotional toll, and the need to move forward. Emily's family stood by her, ready to support her as she embarked on a new chapter, free from the betrayal that had shattered her world. With the weight of betrayal lifted from her shoulders, Emily began to feel a newfound sense of freedom. She looked ahead with hope, envisioning a brighter future without Richard's deception clouding her path. As the sun rose on each new day, so did Emily's optimism and determination to embrace life once more.